It came as a big surprise this last weekend. I fractured my wrist. I ended up being a patient back at Harborview, being on the receiving end of excellent care, where I worked in the surgical ICU. Bruce and I walked through that ER, and we kind of had a deja vu because we remembered, back when we worked there. Thinking about the University of Washington, it's where I always wanted to go to school. I was so happy when I was accepted to the university because I only applied one place, and that was the U.
Both of us were undergraduates at the University of Washington.
I got, I think, a premium on-campus job as the meal card checker.
I knew her before I met her. I finally met her and I said, I know you from somewhere. And it was because she'd punched my meal card multiple times.
He saw me, tapped me on the shoulder. I was cramming for a midterm. He wanted to know if I wanted to go get a coffee. And I was thinking, I don't know if I have time for this. The coffee vending machine was our first date.
In the romance of evening, when young dreams glow softly, coffee is always a perfect companion.
But that turns out to be one of my better moves.
Joanne and I have been married for over 40 years.
We got married in '81, and it was just the following year. We packed up and moved down to San Francisco. It was ground zero of the AIDS epidemic.
She left Harborview, where she was a nurse, and got a job at the VA hospital there. Over half the AIDS patients in the U.S. were in San Francisco, and the VA was heavily crowded with AIDS patients.
Nursing is taking care of people that are not at their best. That was my favorite job, and worked there 10 years. We were presented with an opportunity to move back home, so that's what we ended up doing. Dean Woods, she kept trying to recruit me onto the board of the School of Nursing, and I just kept thinking the timing's not right. I've got the young kids. And finally, I realized she wanted me for my gung-ho and passion. It's been the most rewarding experience for me to serve, because I think we were sort of the unsung hero. Everyone thinks of medicine as the physicians, but it brought focus to nursing.
There is absolutely no question that nursing is a science, and Joanne has been so incredibly helpful in making sure that our community, both locally and nationally, really understand that.
Carlin Steiner thought that I would be a good fit for this organization that she was involved with called ARCS, Achievement Rewards for College Scientists.
The Seattle ARCS chapter supports outstanding scholars who are pursuing PhD research in STEM.
When Joanne joined ARCS, she was a nurse, and she noticed that nursing wasn't viewed as a science at that time.
Nursing does evidence-based research at the University of Washington.
Joanne had a dream, so she enlisted me and others to get the School of Nursing approved for ARCS fellowships. With her passion, with her drive, with her leadership, convinced all of us to say yes to that endeavor. It wasn't easy, but remember, we had a very persistent leader in Joanne. The Seattle ARCS chapter was the first in the country to approve nursing as a fellowship. That year, there were 2 fellowships. In succeeding years, there have been 25 ARCS fellowships. Joanne and her husband, Bruce, established an endowment, ensuring the longevity of this effort. Their gift inspired others to also establish endowments.
ARCS was helpful to me, both financially, but also I think in spirit and motivation. One of my favorite things about Joanne is that she used to follow me down the hallways yelling, "You're my dream come true!" Her big dream was to get nurses included in ARCS, and she did. And so when I became an ARCS scholar and eventually became a faculty member, that accomplishment was in part also her accomplishment.
Joanne was complaining to me about nursing and how they wanted to have more visibility. And so we brainstormed up the idea of why don't we show off the great ideas that nurses have for research by having a competition. You did a presentation, Shark Tank-like presentation.
We did rename to Dog Tank. I think there might have been infringement of some sort.
The idea was you put your best ideas up and the audience decides who gets the money.
It was really to get word out and educate people as to all the amazing things nursing does. The winner of the first was our nurse camp. Just like a summer camp for high schoolers, they would shadow real nurses, really roll up their sleeves and get a real taste of what nursing's all about. Bruce and I both have a pact. We're never going to retire.
We don't reflect on what we've done. It's more important what we're going to do.
Joanne has contributed so much, not just of her time, but of herself to the School of Nursing and to the University of Washington as a whole.
She embodies what the Gates Award is about: long-term, unswerving commitment to advance the mission of this university. Her example has inspired so many others to do the same.
Joanne's love translates into a love that the whole community has. And I can't think of a better representative for the University of Washington than Joanne Montgomery.
Sometimes you really don't see things in yourself that others see in you. The people that have received this award before me are Husky legends. And that's where I thought, I'm not worthy. The more I look at how the years have passed so quick and all the things I've been able to do, that I'm very proud and honored.